Alright folks, here is Collector's World. I am Dr. J, and today's subject is Rob Zombie. Now this is a guy who understands a collector's mindset. Rob is a fan. He's a fan of horror movies. He's a fan of a lot of stuff out there, and he's a collector himself, so he knows what we look for. And Rob has a great marketable character, so he knows that there's a lot of stuff he can put out on himself, and that's what he gives us. This is a great subject for Collector's World. It's a video series I do. I pick all kinds of different subjects and show you the essential items you need on said subject. So if you're watching this, do me a favor and click that subscribe button. YouTube.com/DrJ for PM. Check out all the videos I have, Collector's World, and a whole bunch of others. It's pretty interesting. But Rob Zombie, let's get right into it. Probably should start with the albums. You know, Rob was a member of White Zombie before he went solo. And they just recently put out a pretty fantastic box set which covers their early works, as well as the songs we know and love. And White Zombie, of course, they did 3 albums, I believe. And that includes this compilation, or this one of these, you know, master mix albums. Then Rob went solo, and he went solo with Hellbilly Deluxe, and this is the deluxe edition, interestingly enough. And it consists of the CD as well as a bonus DVD with all kinds of great video footage. So if you're going to get Hellbilly Deluxe, that's the item to get. Next album after that was Sinister Urge, and then of course one of these mix albums again that he did. And then came Educated Horses, which is actually when I first saw Rob, was on tour for that. And of course I waited for Zombie Live. I wanted a CD with Rob live in concert. A great album. Of course, he did the soundtracks as well. House of a Thousand Corpses to some of his films, which we'll talk about in a second. The Devil's Rejects, which has an accompanying DVD as well. And Rob put out a best of, past, present, and future. The best of Rob Zombie. Again, all his great hits, as well as a fantastic DVD. There's the Millennium Collection. Look how cool looking that guy is. Need I say more? Most recently, Hellbilly Deluxe 2 came out. And I absolutely love this album. I can't get enough of it. Speaking of his concerts and whatnot, none of this stuff is officially released, you know, Rob in concert, so you got to do a bit of underground shopping. A couple of people, and you know who you are, bring the cameras into the concert, you do some filming, you package it on a DVD, and you sell it. Well, I'm okay with it depending on who it is, right? And in the case of Rob Zombie, hey, more power to you. And whoever did this did a great job. It is a couple of concerts of Rob back in the heyday. Of course, House of a Thousand Corpses DVD. Now, Rob, as I mentioned, is a fan, right? So he knows what we want for special features, and he gives them to us. The director commentary, behind-the-scenes footage, all kinds of stuff. He makes great DVD packages. The Devil's Rejects, same deal. Halloween, this is the 3-disc set. You got to get the 3-disc. There's a couple versions out there. Get the 3-disc. And, of course, Halloween 2, more Rob Zombie. And, one of his concerts here that I went to see him live, I had him autograph this, so autograph picture. Now, Rob, literally, and I kid you not, is almost on every piece of memorabilia you could possibly imagine. Now, let's look at some of my real favorites. Here we go. Rob is a license plate, a Rob Zombie license plate. Very, very cool. When you're a character like Rob Zombie with a unique look and a very marketable image, you're going to end up as a lunchbox. They say that you don't quite make it yet in the business till you're a lunchbox, and why not? Rob Zombie caps, baseball caps, Rob Zombie cap. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm wearing a Rob Zombie toque. So literally every piece of clothing you can imagine as well. This is a Rob Zombie hoodie. When he was on tour, you could pick this up in concert. 20 years of Zombie. Now I'm going to attempt this. Don't know if this is going to work, but this is the back of it. Some fantastic artwork. I don't know if that worked, but there's a great, great photographic collage on the back of this hoodie. And Rob, of course, the marketable character that he is, you know, another sign that you've made it, you become an action figure. And Rob, of course, no exception. A very, very cool action figure. And funny enough, it's only one of many. And, of course, you might recognize that that name if you are a fan of his work, or if you're a collector of any sort, you know about that guy. And a couple more photographic images of Rob. Now, this is the famous Rolling Stone cover. You see, Rob was on the cover of many, many periodicals. And, you know, Rolling Stone, probably one of the most popular. And, oh, look, there's the poster version up on the wall up here. And, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but in the corner there is another Rob Zombie poster. So, again, very essential for the collector, posters. Anyways, he was on every kind of magazine you could imagine, every metal magazine, Metal Edge. And, of course, he did some more mainstream magazines as well. There's Meltdown, Lollipop. And, of course, as he went into the movie world, he became the subject, you know, of some cover stories on, like I said, some of the more mainstream magazines as well. You know, and a character like that, if it catches on, you know, you're gonna appeal to all ages, 8 to 80. Why not? Rob Zombie, very cool character. Ain't nobody gonna dispute that. Check out this item right here, The Devil's Rejects, a director's script by Rob Zombie. This is a hardcover version that contains the shooting script. And again, Rob, as I mentioned, as the fan that he is, fellow fans like us, he knows all about what we're looking for. So this is a great photographic history in this book on the filming of the movie, as well as I mentioned, the shooting script. So if you don't have this, you gotta get it. Very important. Rob Zombie patches for your clothing. Of course, there's Rob Zombie t-shirts of all sorts as well. There's another one, Rob Zombie patches. Rob Zombie buttons. Can we zoom in on this? This is actually quite small, but there are Rob Zombie buttons. Back to the action figures. Look at this beauty. This is like a big 18-inch Rob Zombie Hellbilly Deluxe. Now, of course, you press the belly, and let's do this here. Now, of course, this exists with a couple of Rob's action figures. There is different action figures, and a couple of them do play that same theme. And here's another one. Rob Zombie. This is like a Jack-in-the-Box action figure, you know? I mean, this is very, very cool. And again, you hit the button there. Very, very neat. Rob Zombie on calendars. And of course the calendars have some great photographic images of the man himself. So, a small sample of what there is out there on Rob Zombie. There's different versions of different items of clothing, different action figures, different books, different magazines, you know, his albums and all that. You gotta basically get all of it if you're any kind of Rob Zombie fan, and there's a lot of stuff out there. A very marketable image, a very, very cool guy, Rob Zombie, and, you know, Monster Rock, it's forever, and quite frankly, so is Rob Zombie.